वॉर का टाइम है ऐसा लग रहा है। यहाँ से चाइना चढ़ा हुआ है, पाकिस्तान भी धमका रहा है, बांग्लादेश भी कम नहीं। तो जो सिचुएशन बनी हुई है, तो मैं तो कह रहा हूँ यार कि भगवान से ज़्यादा हमें आर्मी और हमारी डिफेंस फोर्स के लिए आरती गानी चाहिए। और बाय गॉड यार, मतलब बस जा नहीं पाया उसमें, लेकिन मैं कह रहा हूँ कि बेस्ट लोग होते हैं।
And when we got back from Austin, we were surprised by seeing Defense Forces guys around us, all these lamba chauda 6 feet guys. And then we got to know that these guys from Defense Forces, and the respect which came from inside, it was like wow, real life experiences that I don't have any words to describe. It's really, you get goosebumps when these guys share their experiences, and the level of maturity it's way beyond their age. Maybe they must be around 30-35, but the way they talk, it's immense. I like to salute you guys. Jai Hind.
मतलब लगे हुए हैं, मार देंगे काट देंगे, लेकिन देश में कुछ नहीं है।
They are not stuck in the middle. They don't think if they have to do it, do it. If they don't have to do it, do not do it. So that's the attitude I like.
देश में एक आँच नहीं आनी चाहिए। बिंदास लोग होते हैं, और अगर आप लोग उनको चेयर नहीं कर सकते तो आपको इस देश में रहने का हक नहीं है। ये मेरी ओपिनियन है।
What I've seen is that I know many people out there, so I've seen them, really grilling through the realities of life.
आप 365 दिन में से किसी एक मिनट उन्हें याद कर सकते हैं।
When one should really serve armed forces once in their life, it gives you that thing to understand that you really got to have faith in yourself and you really got to have faith in others.
You said you like singing and all those. If you sing a song for us.
Oh my god, you want to sing here? I'll sing a Punjabi song. सारी रात रतकनिया तारिया तो कुछ चलवे अति अति राती में बारी देखलोनिया तेरे लई हंजुआ दे हार वे पिरोनिया सारी रात रतकनिया तारिया तो कुछ चलवे.
There's an advertisement that used to float in late 90s or early 2000s. It said, "Do you have it in you?" So I just fit in this category. There was this one that happened.
That was my dream right from my childhood times, and I think I'm very indebted to armed forces, especially to Navy, that I could live my dreams.
I wanted to do something for my country.
I was 17 and a half, and the purest form of emotion was to serve the nation. That one can never have a more pure emotion than what I had at that moment of time. But there was no adulteration, nothing. Though over a period of time when we grow up, we become worldly wise.
Because I was in my final year of my engineering, and all my friends were going around looking for jobs here and there, and I was looking at myself and thinking, my god, what am I good at? We enjoy work-life balance basically.
And I think initially my mom had like, but how, what, when, all those reservations.
And I went in for my SSB, and my father was shocked at first. He was like, you are like typical, you're a girl, you don't like to go out in the sun, you don't want to, you are very dress conscious and stuff. You're gonna live that fudgy life. And trust me, the first day of SSB, I realized probably I was judging myself a little wrongly. And somehow those 800, 900 of us associated so strongly. We all wanted to join defense services. Just the same dreams that I had. None of us really knew what defense services are really going to offer us. But yes, we knew the different side of the services.
But yes, she's a bold woman. She said, I think I want to send my girl.
The important thing which I want to tell you is that I for sure was someone who was not keen to join the defense.
I used to think that it's all about cruising, finding new horizon, going to new places.
When I was selected for submarine radar, so I thought it would be like the Disneyland submarine.
whereas we have some glass and we can see the marine life. But when I entered inside, it was just stinky.
When I joined and I completed my training, I would say, I don't know about others, but I would say that I was not at all organized. I was totally unorganized. I used to work in a fashion where the way I like, I used to work like that.
Now, I was not a sports person. I'm more of a creative person who writes, sings, dances. And here we had all athletics. We had all people running around and showing off their skills in games, sports, basketball, volleyball, and then some women doing cross countries. And I'm looking to myself, oh my God, where have I come? But services have been so nice that they helped me come out of this think mind that you need to be a sports person to join these services. You need to be physically very fit. They really train you for it.
So I could not run. I could not, get adapted to the academy curriculum, or at the same time, the training pattern.
Any officer, second on me, even to the field of my life.
So that was bringing in some value, but at that age you don't realize it.
And it was definitely a turning point when I joined army. It completely transformed me from a student life to a complete, you can call it a gentleman.
Then I undergone a training of what I told aviation, where they teach you how to fly an aircraft. The first aircraft which I flew had around 780 checks, which you are supposed to perform in a sequence. If you miss even a single sequence, the aircraft would not start. Right? So passed out from the academy, and when I actually became an pilot and started flying in the aircraft, the entire thought process and the way I work completely changed. And since then, I don't randomly select things from here and there. I go in a sequential manner, and that has become a part of my life. And not only that, it also gives you a moment where any challenge which you take in your life is planned well in advance, rather than taking it instantaneously. Is planned, and that kind of a planning which comes in is possible only because of the training which we have done. Otherwise, I would have never faced. So I would rather say that after completing my training and completing 10-12 years of service, I'm more planned, more organized, which I would not have been if I would have been outside. And that definitely gives you some kind of a lot of success for that matter. And if you implement these attitudes in your life.
I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed.
But what is most important is that you have to dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be? Not what, but who.
We got posted in INST, it's a training ship. So once we landed there and ship started sailing, thereafter we realized that what is Navy? No, because we never experienced, we never had sailed in our life.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, no thunder in there.
So there we realized that once sea starts choppy, and seas, rough seas are there, and then ship is sailing, and in those scenarios it's totally difficult to acclimatize yourself because we have never sailed. And there is one factor which is called as a seasickness, which every guy will experience or lady will experience once you sail through sea. And that ship starts yawn and pitching starts ship this thing, and your mind starts घूमना शुरू कर देता है. Your mind starts fluctuating. Thereafter you start feeling as if you're seasick.
just the same people. There's a different odor at different decks, and it's a full metal body. You never know when it's going to sink or what might happen. Right? So different scenarios. You never know if sea state is going to be calm, ship is going to sail smooth, or it's going to take you on a rough ride, much worse than a boat.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
At times during training, you think, यार ये क्यों आ गया मैं यहाँ पे, तो बहुत ही भाग दौड़ चल रही है. But never had that thing in mind कि भाग जाऊँ. So, always had that strong feeling कि I have to do it, and I will do it.
We can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell.
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You can convince a soldier who will walk with you, who will go with you, and he knows that he's going towards death. If you can convince him, then you can convince everyone. I mean, that's the kind of confidence you have.
It's the only field where you can command people to die. You lead them from the front.
Very unexpected.
It's nightmare, actually.
But every day has got a new challenge. That's what I feel.
It feels thrilling, yes. But in a circumstance, when you're put into a tank, it's similar to being put into a ship.
Say, you have to be there to feel it.
We are here right now. Let me tell you what I'm missing. I'm missing my uniform.
Okay.
And we think uniform is a kind of a part of our body.
And the love for the
The interest for donning the uniform.
To wear that uniform is a different thing.
It has always been inspiring to see them in uniform. That little glance would really take off your head and have a special as compared to anybody else.
But I would say that the memories which I'll cherish lifelong when you pass out from the academy as a pilot. I think my parents came and has put that wings on my uniform was one of the moments.
I cannot explain the excitement and goosebumps that we had the first time the academy moments together.
Because you know that there are 120 million people around you.
And our forces man. And I can say without any doubt that this 7 years or 8 years, what I learned, जो मैं बना, जो personality मेरी बनी, वो बाहर नहीं बन सकता. Meeting different type of people from all over the country and one of the best guys. जब हम अपने छोटे छोटे सर्कल पे जब हम रहते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि हमें सब आता है. We are like at the top notch. Then when you actually meet the competition, and trust me, जो 12th के बाद a person who has done SSB and who was selected for this thing, they are one of the best. And तब लगता है realization कि यार we are not that good also. There are better people in the world.
that feeling comes that I have done something. Till when you can cope up with those difficulties, thereafter it becomes a part of your life.
So I would say that it definitely gives you an adventurous life, but it also gives you a satisfaction for being associated with certain causes which contributes towards the country, and it's always motivating for that matter. You never feel bad about it. That sometimes you're working outside the corporate where your company is facing a loss or something, you feel dejected about it. But being in armed forces, because you're working for a noble cause for the country, you never feel. Last 12 years of my life, I have never felt dejected about it. Let my aircraft have flown, not flown, I have never felt dejected. So if you're
whatever I am today, it's courtesy of Navy. Otherwise, okay. How many of us can say like this about in their corporate life that I am courtesy to this company? How many can say? क्योंकि वो ज़माना 20 साल पहले खत्म हो गया.
It's all about tech, continuous learning, evolving, adapting to new situations, whichever way it comes.
Services give me a lot of confidence and survival, indeed.
Use limited resources to solve any situation.
That they were converting me from an individual who was only into studies to an all-round individual. An officer is a complete officer.
Everyone is equally motivated to be physically fit, but armed forces creates that within us.
He can talk to people, he can play hard.
Unlike if you have a college आपको बहुत support करता है, you get a lot of sports activity, everything is there, but then you cannot enforce it. So you would not find it across the board that
the good teacher once taught to love others as you love yourself.
Duration of 6 months. I was amazed with myself. Yes, I had defeated my own fear because of not being able to display those antics of running cross country. Trusted me and held that confidence in me and tried to tell me that have it in you and you just have to believe in yourself. Again, it built me as a person. Starting from a young girl who was confused about
everyone got a shoulder to lean on when they're struggling. We all got people to hug.
Thereafter, it was just a roller coaster ride and I enjoyed it. I think there wasn't any bias. So, as a woman, I never felt that I have been going through some kind of discrimination, especially so each one of them had its own aura in itself. So, I felt it was like a linear curve going ahead.
The forces helped me to continue with my interest in academics. I got a post-graduation from IIT Delhi on advanced studies on warship design.
And went to different heights, right from 1,000 feet to 10,000 feet. Also got qualified into landing into the ships, which is considered to be very difficult for a helicopter pilot for that matter.
I am from the Indian Army. I am from Armored Corps. Armored Corps is a part of the Indian Army. This is the arm which basically we operate with tanks. So there are times when I have to do demolition, and demolition means is the demolition of ammunition. It is when the charger is left and the projectile is still left, charger is gone, so you have to destroy those. So that's one incident where there was a life threat because the fuse went inside, it burned completely. I had to take it out with my own hand. It could have lasted any time, and there were 32 rounds, 120 mm. That means an explosion which could take down 3 stupid things at one go. So I had to take out that charge myself. I did it because that was my duty. That's about it. And it's not that I was not scared. Everyone is scared. There's no one in this world who can say I'm fearless. I can assure you that. But that's because you have taken an oath. You have to do it. It's simple as that.
And but one thing is, if you join service, they will kick you, they will hammer you down, and they will bring it to the shoes of a Fauji. That is for sure.
As I mentioned, when you are just 18, is the fact that you are judged for thinking in a positive manner.
But in Fauj, what does it? Anything and everything that happens to you, you tend to live it up. You try to just take it in your stride and say, okay, this was the part. I made a mistake, I got hit. Cool, chill.
Yeah,
This is
correct.
something greatly defines a Fauji. If your mindset is attuned to learn and accept new things which are radically different from what you've learned, then possibly you should join defense. If you are adamant, you're not interested in taking charge of a situation, if you are scared of certain things, then you possibly defense is not the choice for you.
Personal zeal that makes us to join defense as well.
Don't ever let somebody
We have
tell
to be
you.
adaptive. Say, train ourselves like anything.
Life is,
Not even me.
I wouldn't say easy at all. It is difficult. It is not that easy. Only difference I feel is
Got a dream?
probably threat of life. That
You want
is
something,
one thing which is
Go
different.
get it. Period.
But that we hold as an honor, I feel.
So as a young boy, we all wanted to fly down to Siachen Glacier, see how it is, and fly down to Toys Day and all those areas which were never visited by anyone. So I was an opportunity which was given to me by Defence Services. Done a lot of flying there, done a lot of sorties, done a lot of casualty evacuation missions, and seen a lot of good things out there.
And when you are in the group itself gives you a lot of motivation.
So not even a single day is possible in forces if you don't have a group with you. And it's not a individual game. It's not the services are not individualistic. It's associated with the groups.
Being in the Navy in particular, you do visit a lot of foreign countries with your ships. And when you go abroad, you realize how intellectually better off, how socially, how compassionate the Indians are compared to the Western or the other countries.
Is the respect. When you go outside, I have always got that respect from the citizens of the India. That they offer me that kind of a respect. There's something which is very satisfying.
Full of emotions, I would tell you. Many people had this notion that no, emotion doesn't difference the emotion, but no, it's not like that.
So, see, Fauj is totally different. They don't want toppers and they don't want floppers. They have a person who has a intellectual mind, who can, think out of a box, find out ways and means and how to solve the problems, and a quick response.
What we say OLQs, it's like you don't need to be very intelligent. I have not seen greatest of the toppers or classroom toppers getting into defense forces. So if you are a very meticulous, yes, being meticulous helps. Being disciplined helps. Sports helps a lot, because it's not about what you play, it's about handling daily stress, chota level pe stress.
Value of time could be best realized in a military establishment. A cadet gets up at 4:30 in the morning and he knows that there is something he is going to do till 2200, that is 10 p.m. before he sleeps, or even till 10:30. So he realizes the value of time, and that's where the negativity goes.
जो मिल गया उससे खुश रहो. Because if you go for too many choices, you will be on board and doing nothing other than cribbing. Learned a lot that whatever hardship come for a group.
Commitment should be pure. First thing. And without focus, one cannot achieve. There will be ups and downs in life.
Every battle, every exam, either you win or you learn something. You won't lose anything. No life is perfect. If you keep deleting every wrong moment, you will not have life itself. Because 80% of the time is fighting.
It's the capacity to handle a no that a person should learn. That okay, you will be told no, don't use your mind, no. The moment you are told that you're not supposed to do this, there's a human tendency to do that by hook or by crook. So you have to overcome that. Okay, this is how it is, so I have to accept it the way it is.
The main thing is, how should I say that? How dignified you can be when you have to accept your downs. Your downs in life should be accepted in a dignified manner with dignity, and your up should be in a humble manner. So if you can strike out that, I think one will be happy and will meet their own goals in life.
And that's why service gives you an opportunity to not just learn about it, but to exploit your skills and develop on it. So I think biggest takeaway is to practically learn about whatever theories are floating around.
Sir, anything you most grateful for?
The life that I've got. And I'm lucky I got 2 lives, I got a second life also.
And that has become a part of my life.
It becomes a part of your life.
It's like part of my life.
It became a family. It became a home.
So does it work? Like if we punish somebody, so does it work?
Does work. No one learns without getting punished. Believe me.
When it comes to endurance, you feel it's your endurance which is important or the endurance of the last person. And then the realization is that it's not the first person who matters to you. It's how you carry the last person is matters. And that realization is very important for life, whether you are military, otherwise. So we carried, I remember we carried the last person. We never saw what was our ability. We always caught the weakest of the league.
The one thing which everybody has to realize is that in life, if you're not able to, don't go for first. I don't have to overshoot. I don't have to kill. You don't have to go for kill on first day only. Maintain that average wala panda.
Truth, self-respect, and any occupation which is giving you money, any occupation which is giving you food, giving you bread and butter, you should be very honest with that. It is not only that a person in uniform is serving the nation. Everybody is serving the nation.
Like many people ask me, तुम अपने बेटे को क्या बनाना चाहते हो, क्या करवाना चाहते हो, इंजीनियर, डॉक्टर। मैं उनको ये बोलता हूँ कि whatever in professional way he will grow. कभी एक दिन कुछ ना कुछ तो बन ही जाएगा, नहीं तो जो भी है that is his own destination. What my main motive is he should be a good human being. That is my main concern. एक अच्छा इंसान बनाना उसको. He should know the values, ethics, how to live, how to be a social. Don't be a social animal, be a social being.
Everywhere it's same. The grass is always greener on the other side. So choose wisely.
Message is, please love your own country because it's your own. The only thing that I'll say is that never stop. And the old saying was hard work pays. But in today's world, it has to be a smart hard work. Only hard work will not pay.
Yeah.
Along with your hard work, you have to be smart also. If you're not smart, the hard work will not pay. And if you're only smart, it will only pay for some time. Because somewhere or the other, you're going to get exposed. You have to know your job and you have to be smart at the same time.
At times, you sacrifice interest for the larger interest of mankind, larger interest of the country, larger interest. Put yourself aside, work towards the larger goal. That will give you a kind of satisfaction. And at the end of the life, you will definitely be satisfied. Don't go for small, short term, what we read is short term and long term. So don't go for the short term goals in life. Go for a long term goals. Be remembered for something which others probably would not have done it.
There was one such incident wherein sea was very rough, and I was supposed to on a small boat. And the smaller the ship is, the more it, the dynamicities change. It rolls a lot, it pitches a lot. Survivability becomes, it doesn't remain optional. And you have to survive. Because ultimately, this is what I chose for myself.
I would say the toughest part is the challenging part. When you command the troops in the extreme hostile conditions. When I say extreme hostile and challenging conditions, it's the number of occasions where you command a troop
when you're away from your family. And there are a number of incidences back home that keeps on happening. Somebody losing their life, somebody's mom, somebody's father, somebody's kid between the accident or something of that sort. At that point of time, you are responsible for your men and their family's welfare. So any such moment when you have to manage their emotions, because you know that you can manage your emotions. At the same time, manage the emotions of the troops that you command. And still taking the best out of them. That was the most challenging. Because you know that his son has fallen from the roof, he's injured, he's in the hospital. You can understand what the emotion that individual must be going through. And you are unable to send him back home within 24 hours because it takes time to reach back. Those are the times you feel very tough from inside. You don't display it outside, you don't display emotions, but inside actually it's very tough.
And like during Kargil ops, we used to land in Leh. There are a lot of restrictions in those days to land in Leh. So landing in Leh is totally restricted by the weather temperatures there. The height of Leh runway is almost close to 10,380 feet. So if you that landing is a big issue, you have to land early morning hours. But in case of casualty vacation, which is a primary reason, because if you don't go there, the soldiers somebody will die. So during that one of these occasions, the winds were not appropriate, but we had to land there, and somehow we managed to land in such a bad state that we took chance. It was us against a soldier who was fighting for the country, and we took chance and we landed there. Thankfully, calculations were done very nicely, so we landed up in a very nice manner. We picked them up and came back. So that was one good thing. One memory I remember. Second memory I remember, which was not a very good memory, was on the way back from Bhuj. We had a team of about 20 doctors and almost close to about 30 odd patients and injured people, all civilians of course. And we were taking care of them. So while we were going to Bombay, one of the person died on board, which was very sad because we have to give a count on board. So when we started, we gave a count of approximately, I don't remember, about 55 on board. But when we were landing in Bombay, we had to say that we are 54 souls and one mortal remains on board. So that was one very sad, lowest point of operations. A lot of bad things happened, but part and parcel of life. Somebody has to do it.
And one of the toughest moments I would tell when I had carried the body of one of my friends. He became Martin, I carried his body to his home. So all the way till the time I reached his home in Hyderabad, that was okay. But when I had to face his family and then tell that, look, I was part of the same operation, but I am alive here and Anand is not here. That was actually the toughest moment.
And even when I came here, we came here in September, right? So I came here on 6th of September. On the 1st of September, I had my last flight. I thought that it's very critical. Nobody forced me, but I still went on the first flight because I want to have those memories with me when I come back here. But yes, once you are a bachelor, I was absolutely fearless. But once you get a family along, there are certain situations which I never used to take, which never used to catch me, unaware. Started doing it. For certain matter, that's why I was sharing with him. There was a little, critical time in the flight where the face of my daughter came in front of me. So, again, when the thing comes and see, it came in front of me, it never happened with me. We have faced many situations in life where we could come out successfully from that, and nobody ever, made me weak that time. But this time when we faced it, when my daughter was 4.5 months old, is the time, yes, she figured out when that situation was there and I was in that situation. But then again, as I told, it was not a profession for me. It was my hobby, it was my passion, and the place where I was working for was my family. So she also got associated with my forces, and I think that was one of the factors which made me come out of it. And I never felt that it's a fear. I think it was a motivation That's a family I'm working for. Family might as well get out of the situation. My family would be safe. So we never felt otherwise.
There was an experience where I was completely in the battle, the counter-terrorism battle, and knowing that taking one step ahead, even I might go out of the world. But that was a time when I had to take a decision where to go move forward or to stay back. So you decided to move forward. So when you move forward and do your best, it was not basically to kill the militant or something. It was basically to save one of your comrades, one of your friends. So while doing so, when you move forward, within a flash of 5 to 10 seconds, you can say, you could remember every person that you have met in your life. That was one of the important moments. Within 10 seconds, I could see everyone in front of my eyes, right from childhood, whosoever I met.
If you ask an aviator for that matter, because that's what I have done, flying aircraft on different planes. There are many different situations which you face in air, because generally the helicopter which I fly is a single engine aircraft. That's got only single engine, and not that we are flying over land, we are flying over sea. So I would say the best thing which Academy gave us was the training to work under pressure. And when you are in air, I mean, you have to be 300% of what you are, in your normal operations. There are many situations which we have faced when you are flying over sea. You have got certain problems in the aircraft, engines not behaving properly, temperatures are shooting up, pressures are shooting up. It becomes very difficult for you to handle those situations. But the only thing which could make me survive that situation was the training given by the Academy.
Because of the technical problem, some of the machinery was down and we had to sail out. That time, it was a call that has to be taken whether we should be able to postpone our commitment with deployment or not. So in that case, we had conflicts.
Something happened that the ship's engine got some problem, and that boat and my ship, they went apart around more than a mile. So it was very pitch dark night, and I was not able to see my ship. And then I realized I was not well equipped. There was nobody inside the boat. There was only fishermen. But had it been any person with arms and ammunition?
Down the line, I got my shoulder dislocations. And I went for sailing and I was seasick because that was my first appointment. Gradually you become sea tigers. There are certain things which are attached with the ship. It's fixed. Those things got uprooted. Sea was that rough. And I started puking like hell. I puked with blood also. Then I realized it's not that easy, which made me feel actually happy in somewhere later on my stage, wherein I felt that I have not left this branch.
In Hindi, he told me that अगर कोलंबस ने और वास्को डी गामा ने ऐसे सोचा होता तो दुनिया को ये मालूम चलता कि दुनिया गोल है, अगर वो आपकी तरह डर जाता। और आज हम दूसरे देश नहीं जा पा रहे थे आज।
When I lost my elder brother, the dear ones, I lost a couple of 3-4 friends, my brother, my comrade. So when I lost them, actually, I really wanted to delete that because I know one of them was about to get married, one of them about to become a father for the first time. So when I saw that these memories, I really wanted these incidents, if given a chance, I would like to bring them back and give them to their family.
And that was the time you saw that if there is an institution which works without being, guided or told or coming under any political compulsion, any religious compulsion, which the armed forces delivered help and succor to all the people.
The the Josh in civilians could be seen as good as it was in defense services also. They were helping us out 24/7. Whether it was when we were flying an aircraft and we had to take some diversion, the ATC, civil ATC in Delhi was working 24/7.
We were given first posting as a command point. It was a privilege for me to do that. So as a lady, I was commanding almost 5 men, which was difficult for me because you might hide to that. You're inside, you're standing for 500 men and say something. But yes, then there's a jolt of push which is given to you by your training, and it makes you stand right there and demand.
Professionally, yes, I am really very proud of, because wonderful opportunities that I have come across. I couldn't have imagined myself as a skydiver, but for the naval. I'm a skydiver today, and I've been an avid mountaineer, taking people, old people, and these young NCC students on this mountain summits and all.
When I was doing my training on board a submarine, we have something called as SOP, the Standard Operating Procedures. So what generally you are not supposed to go beyond that SOP, because it may result in a life-death situation for the entire crew as a whole, because you're 200 meters inside sea. So at that place, one wrong decision can actually hamper the entire. There's no coming back. Nowhere in the world has a submarine ever been recovered. I was under training. Of course, my commanding officer was giving me some orders, and I happened to create a wrong this thing, because we were training, and I got hit by a rock like hand. So I could not breathe for a second. So I was sitting in a control room, and there's something that hits you on your back because you've given one wrong order. It so happened that I looked back and I saw my commanding officer standing, and he was a boxer, and he had hit me with a punch on my because I had given wrong command. So he said, "Are you going to let us all die here?" And I didn't even have the energy to even say yes or a no, because when you get hit on your back very hard, something happens that you're not able to speak. Your voice just vanishes. So then those are the times. Now when I look back, I tell my commanding officer, "Sir, your hand is like actually 2.5 kgs, and I have borne the brunt of it quite a lot many times, and now we can laugh over it."
Soldiers, they don't have water. So the school boy, small boy, he was Kashmiri, and local boy. Suddenly I saw him running towards us. So somebody said, "Oh, why you're running?" Trying to stop them, don't come in the middle of the town. But then he waved something, and then he says, "I've got a water for you." That was something like, you feel that, oh, you are in the midst of the battle. People here, I generally, you have this perception that people are anti. No, it's not like this.
हर फिक्र को दुबई में उड़ाता चला गया.
I was there in Israel.
The Israelis, Israeli army and Israeli forces. Israel, it is compulsory for everybody to be trained in militaries.
I think, according to me, we should follow what Israel does. Everybody should at least serve in the Army, Navy, Air Force, anything, it doesn't matter, but at least for 2 years. Because that does give you a different perspective towards life. Certainly give you an aspect of life which you have not seen earlier. As a civilian, you have not seen it earlier. And it's very nice to see it once.
I'm lively. Back to my college life.
It's something which I'm definitely cherish for a very long time.
Oh, wonderful!
I keep on teasing my wife. See, I have a good crowd around.
Which is awesome.
Wonderful. It's very, very good to be back as a student after a long time.
I mean, if it is concerning IIM students, it's very important to understand what does that labor, that man on the ground feel when you give him the work.
My only advice is that please do explore the other parts of life and be socially conscious, because we may be, IITians or I pass on from IIM, but what it really matters is that what impact are we making at the end of the day.
More than just red bricks and beautiful campus, IIM is home ground for great brains.
JITs, just in time.
Life at IIM Indore, to be very precise, Navy has taught me the art of management, and IIM is teaching me the science behind this management.
Yeah, I am very impressed that all the events you people organize on your own, conduct it on your own. It's a great thing.
It's good to be a part of this time. Life here is full of a lot of activities and a lot of positive vibes all around. When I say positive, that means right from plus 2, but students from all strata, from all over the country, and whichever side you go, you always see smiles, you see fun, and you see people are ready to take challenges, ready to make differences. Everybody has some other perspective to make some mark in their life.
Here we go. On the road.
Let me clarify one thing. Not all 4G drinks, not all 4G smoke. There's a very big myth again.
Any message you want to youngsters to?
I'm also a youngster.
No.
No, he started again. Cut.
No.
He said Saab ki cuts are, but Saab mein no cuts. So everyone started laughing, and thereafter I thought I have to jump to me.
No.
बोलना नहीं.
I should be looking good. Sir, you're looking idiot. You can tell me this also.
If you suddenly found yourself tuned into a woman, how would you spend your day?
2 hours. Shopping तो नहीं करूँगा बल्कि. And like, this is after marriage or before marriage? Let's just clarify that.
Before marriage.
Both the experience.
Okay.
I'll say both.
Before marriage, then I would have talked to my crush and find out that does she love me. And after marriage, अपनी बीवी से सब कुछ उगलवा लेता हूँ. क्या, what you like about your husband and don't like about your husband. So.
Very smart.
I have not killed anyone, but it's been a dream unfulfilled.
Shoot. I'm still alive.
Now everybody is going to distract me. I just got distracted.
काफी कुछ कट कर देना इसलिए.
No, stop it.
Edit कर देना ये.
Okay. Is there anything you have done weirdest?
Weirdest, though, I can't. I mean, do you really want?
Roll action camera slap.
Thank you. Thank you so much.